Got some music playing, and now if I walk under this, it's going to register that I'm indoors, and then the game is going to apply a low pass filter, and the volume's dropped as well. Hey guys, this is Jackson, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use my Music Manager plugin. This is a plugin that I've made for myself in my own projects that I use over and over and over again. It makes my life so much easier when it comes to controlling my music. So it's got a couple of features, including it's got some nodes for seamlessly changing music dynamically in game. It comes with fading in, fading out, fading between tracks. It has some override features which allow you to change the music for things like combat. So if you enter an enemy encounter and you want your game to change to battle music, then this plugin can do that with just a single node and an overlap event. It'll change the music while you're in battle, and then the moment you leave battle, you can resume back to the music that was playing before you entered the battle. There's also some other features for dynamic music. There is the ability to apply a low pass filter and adjust the volume of the music when you're, say, indoors, or say when you're in a cutscene, or say when your character goes underwater. All of those three things are integrated into this plugin, which I'll show you in just a moment. And I've got some separate stuff as well, like layering music. So if you want your music to dynamically add more layers depending on gameplay events, that's in a separate pack to this plugin. But I think what I might do is in the download link for this plugin, I'll include that. I'm going to include all of my music manipulation stuff for you to use in your own projects. Like I said, I use this all the time. It's like my go-to way of controlling music. So once you get the download, there'll be a link in the description to Gumroad where you can download that. You're going to get two plugins. So what you're going to do is you're just going to copy those, and then I'm going to go to my content browser and find in Explorer where my project is. So this is just a demo third-person project that I've created for illustration purposes. So in my project folder, I'm just going to create a folder called plugins, and then I'm just going to paste those two plugins in. It's Jackson's Functions and the Jackson's Music Manager. And so then once they're in, I think we need to restart the engine. So let me just quickly, I have this restart editor plugin, which is very handy. So I'm just going to quickly enable that because we might be restarting a couple of times. Yeah, so we'll just give that a sec. And so now, what's this? Out of date, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, if you go to Jackson's plugins now, there's a bunch of other ones in here. These are all in my engine. I'm working on a bunch of these, which I'm going to publish for anybody who wants to use them. Basically, I reuse the same code for a lot of my projects, and so I'm always improving on these, and I'm always updating them. So if you purchase one of these now, you'll have access to it forever, and you'll be able to continue to use it. So you want to make sure you've got Jackson's Functions enabled and Jackson's Music Manager, and if you want to read the documentation for any of those, they're in there. I need to update those, they're a little bit out of date, but you get the idea. So now, if you go into plugins, down here, Jackson's Music Manager, maps, we've got a demo map in here that I'm just going to show you. I wonder if I can just jump in and just run around and see if it works. I don't hear any music playing. Here we go. So down here, initial active, set that to true, and then your music is in there. I'll go through all these settings in just a second, but if I jump in, we got some music playing, and now if I walk under this, it's going to register that I'm indoors, and then the game is going to apply a low pass filter, and the volume's dropped as well. And then when I come back out, back to full volume, and then over here I believe there is a music changing volume. So let me see. You can see as I walk over that, the music has changed. So this, for example, is for boss battles. If I walk back out, the old music plays again. And so there is a couple of things like I'd like to improve. Like I want to add some fading, and so that it smoothly fades between these tracks, or at least have an option for it. And then basically when you exit the battle, it'd be good to have the music replay from the moment that it left off. So those are all things that I'm going to be updating. Like I said, I'm going to be updating this again and again and again and again as I add more stuff for my own projects. But just a quick overview of all of the settings in here. You can hover most of them, or maybe none of them. No, you can't hover these to read these. So maybe, oh, here we go. Yeah, you can hover some of them to read what they do. But yeah, like basically they're all sort of self-explanatory. You put your music in. Do you want the music to play at begin play? Then set that to true. Apply a low pass filter when indoors. So for example, when you're under a ceiling, do you want it to quiet down the music to reflect that you're inside? Set the ceiling height. This is the tick time for updating that. And then do you want it to play when paused? Do you want to, and then this is a variable that you can override if you want the game to be quiet, say for in a cutscene. Anyway, if I open up the Music Manager blueprint, you can have a dig through all of these. Basically, I've got API up here, so these are the nodes that you call to change a song. If you ever want to change a song in the game, like once your level's loaded or you enter a new biome, what you do is you type in try get Music Manager. You can call that from anywhere. That's in a blueprint function library, and then just type in change song. And then that'll seamlessly fade out the song that you're currently playing and then fade in whatever new song. And then while that song is playing, if you then call try set new override, this is the one that you can use for battle music or for your boss music. Again, you just type in try get Music Manager, and then you just call which song that you want to play, your battle music, and then whenever you call try end override, it'll cancel that music and return to whatever music was last set by the change song. So this is like your ambient music over here, that's it playing in your level, and then this is the music that you want to temporarily override for the sake of a battle, or temporarily override for a specific section of the game, which will then revert back to this when you call the function there. Now this is a rep notify, so if you click on this, it's going to go through a bunch of shit for changing volume and whatever, but this will set the music to have a low pass filter and be quieted down, and a bunch of other settings which I think are defined in the public tab here. Yeah, so volume normal, volume quiet, pitch normal, pitch quiet, low pass normal, low pass quiet. Basically, if you set this to true, it's going to put it into quiet mode, and then it's going to apply that volume, that pitch, and then a low pass filter at that frequency. And then it's got some fading functions down there as well, like if you want it to change quickly, if you want it to change slowly, you can play with those. But basically I use this for indoors, I use this for underwater, and I also use this for cutscenes whenever I start and end cutscenes. Basically same deal, just try get Music Manager. You can call this from your HUD, you can call this from wherever, and just set should be quiet, or set should be quiet, this one here, set should be quiet to true, and then that'll just dampen the sound, and then you can set that to false again whenever you're done. Last thing, I'll just quickly go over this. This is sort of like a bonus feature. Basically, I have a system in here which can fire off custom events based on timestamps in the song. So if you have like editing software, like a DAW, where you can see the timestamps of the beat and the music, and you want to have events that are timed to the beat, then basically, I wonder if I can open this up from here. I can't. Let me go to my tab. Where is it? Blueprints, music-based events. Basically, if you have a song, so you enter a song in here, and then you can put in timestamps here in seconds, and then basically the Music Manager is going to fire off a custom event at each one of these times. So like if the bass drops, I've got little descriptions down here on what they are. So this part, index 3, is like a chill section there. Switch it up into low pass filter, we got drop, enter a long gauntlet, like etc, etc. Basically you can fire off these to spawn enemies, to change the lighting, you can do whatever you want and just basically sync your game to the beat. So the way that works, so basically how this works is every time you change the song to a new song, the Music Manager inside of the change song node will scan this data table. It'll scan this data table here to see if any of the entries here are the same as the song that's being played, and then it'll automatically start to fire off any events that are in here as the playback time reaches those stamps. So to access those events, they're automatically going to be playing, but to access those events is you want to, from any other blueprint, you're going to say try get Music Manager. Say it's like a enemy spawning blueprint. On begin play you'll say try get Music Manager, and then you'll say bind event to what is it, music based event, bind event to trigger music based event. So this will happen on begin play, and then you'll create a custom event down here, and then basically you would say spawn actor from class or whatever, and the event index there corresponds to the index of the timestamp here. So you know, maybe for your first one you could put like a switch on integer here. You could put a switch on integer here and do as many different cases of whatever you want. So like you could spawn 1 enemy for the first one, 15 enemies for the next one, and then like change the lights for a boss battle on the next one or whatever. You can do whatever you want for it basically. That's all I'm going to explain here, but if you get the plugin, obviously you can look around through these. Most of the functions, these API functions, you can hover them to read what they do. These ones, and yeah, you can just sort of poke around. And of course you can always just ask me in the Discord server as well if you have any questions about any of this. Poke around in the folders here as well, and with this pack you're going to get the Jackson's Functions plugin as well, and in here is a bunch of different stuff including my actor relevancy component. I've done a video on that in the past, helps you with your performance. There's just different bits and pieces in here that might be helpful for you in your projects. So that's it. Like I said, there's going to be a link to this in the description. Please check it out, it helps me a lot. Like and subscribe and all of that, and let me know how it goes. See ya.